It's after midnight, and it's time for conversations about love, family, friends, sex, and life. It's Love and Life with RIDDICK and Donavan West, only on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family members. Welcome to another episode of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. As you know, we're at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. I am your host, Carol Riddick, and my alternating co-host is here in spirit, Mr. Donavan West. I'm sure he's sending his love as always. It's so happy to see you. I say see you because I feel like I can, it just feels like we're together. And I know we're not, so don't think I'm crazy. Don't think I'm crazy. Maybe just a little. In any event, I'm always happy to be here with you. It's always my pleasure and my privilege to share some time, some energy, some spirit with you. And today is no different, as I tell you. I always tell you guys that because I mean it. In any event, tonight's episode is about couples. We are talking, as we have in the past, about love, about life, as we do. And we like to share everybody's story because we know everybody has a story. Everybody's story is their own. And we like hearing about it and we like sharing it. So tonight's episode is focusing on our guests who have a delicious empire. That's what I like to say. And it works perfectly because, as they say, they love providing decadent experiences. I love that, decadent. I love that word. In any event, they have catered to our palates and they are true visionaries. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they've been married for about 30 years. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Anyway, family members, welcome to our homes, KELSEY and Kim Jackson. Hello there, family.
Hello. How you doing, Carol?
I will not complain. Ain't no need, right? Ain't no need. I mean, I could though. I could, but I don't think anybody would care. But first, let me say thank you. Thank you so much for accommodating and obliging. I should let our family members know that, you guys jump through hoops to make this happen. So thank you. Thank you for being here.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Listen, so we're going to get into it because I've been telling our family members about these decadent experiences that you guys like to provide and that we like to indulge in. So I want to share with everybody, since we know you, well, I know you for the for what you do. But I want to let those who are unaware know from where you came and how you got to where you are. So if you wouldn't mind just telling us a little bit about how the two of you met. How can we start there?
Oh my, do you want to start first or should I?
You should start first, baby.
Oh, okay. Well, we met when I was 14.
14.
14, yeah, 14 years old we met. I was a girlfriend of mine I grew up in Pomona, New Jersey, and a girlfriend of mine took me to Pleasantville to a basketball game, and we met at this basketball game.
Wait, as the two of you look, family members, for those of you who are listening and cannot see, they gave each other this look. Okay. So that look just said everything that I want to know. So what
we met when I was pretty young, and we drifted apart for a little while because both of us have been married previously. This is our second marriage for both of us.
Okay. So wait, okay, you met when you were 14. Was it love? Was it just hello? Was it,
Well, I think it was love. I don't know. What you think, baby?
Well, she was strung out,
Oh my.
First impression.
Somebody's really full of themselves. That's for sure.
I mean, she came to watch me play, and it was just like it was a wrap after that. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You
So
see how he said I came to watch him play?
that's
No,
what
I
he
came
said.
to the basketball game. You just happened to be playing.
But you left with me.
Oh,
Well, I
you
didn't
know,
necessarily leave with you, but I did meet you then. But okay.
you know what? I
That's the way
see.
you remember it.
Okay. Okay, so she left with you and that was just it. She was just in love. That was it from that moment. That's what
Yeah, okay. He'd like to believe it to be that way. That's fine. That's his choice.
No, but I think it was definitely something definitely clicked. We connected, and we dated for a while, but at the time I wasn't really ready to settle down. So
Okay.
we decided to go our separate ways. And then, but like I turned 21,
Mm-hmm.
and I ran into her one day. She was I was working at Trump Marina Casino, and I got off work and I went to get something to eat at this place called Sam's Rialto's in Pleasantville. So I was coming out the restaurant, and somebody drove past. I said, that looked like Kim Wilborn. So needless to say, I wanted to see if it was really her. She went down like 3 blocks to the bus station. So I walked down there, and sure enough, it was Kim. You know, we started kicking and everything, and just everything connected again. And at the time, I was separated from my wife, and she was separated from her husband, and we just started kicking and started talking. The next thing you know, one thing led to the next, and we was back together again, and been together ever since.
Now, you know, I something that you just said stuck with me. He said she drove by. I thought it was her, but I walked about 3 blocks.
Yeah, you realize I was driving, he was
You wait,
walking,
yo,
so who was infatuated with him? Okay.
I said, wait a minute.
Well,
Yeah, no, you already told it.
You-
You can't change it.
I did walk 3 blocks, but
Yeah.
the thing
And then
is,
the next day, after he found out it was me, I was actually parked across the street from where I worked. So I told him where I worked. I pointed to the building where I worked at. And the next day, he sent me a big dozen of roses.
Oh.
Did you not? Yes.
well, you know, that's what I do.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay. I wanted to make a good impression. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Understandable.
So again, after that, it's just like I couldn't get rid of her. You know, I said I only sent you for flowers.
He couldn't get rid of you. I love how this is going because you were so in love, but he walked 3 blocks and you were in the car, and then he sent you roses, but he couldn't get rid of you. So I love how this is going. I you know,
Yeah.
I see how this works now. I see how this works.
You
So,
see it.
I see it. So okay, so now she's smitten, you're smitten.
Mm-hmm.
We're in love now. So I want to know how like how do we get from okay, we know who we are individually, we come together, we're in love, to building an empire?
Well, I think we both have been hard workers throughout our life. Like I've had a job ever since I was at least 14.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe the same for you. You've always been a real hard worker. And he's always been involved in the food business. And the funny part about it is that I've always seen myself owning a business, but never thought about a restaurant business. I actually went to school for business. And when I met Kelsey, he was all about the food. And I think that we were probably together for about maybe a year and a half before we had our first son. Remember? And the thing about it is that he would come home when I was pregnant, and the smell of the restaurant would just, the way he smelled would turn my stomach. Like it was like morning sickness in the afternoon, because when I was smelling, it would just, the mere thought of food would just bother me. And it wasn't even just because I was pregnant. Throughout our relationship, you know, I was like, honey, you have to leave your clothes at the door because the restaurant smell has just always bothered me. When I would go to his job, walking in the casinos and those big restaurants, I could never get over how they smell. I don't understand. So I never pictured myself to be in the restaurant business. But he always wanted to. And he came to me and he said, you know, his dream was always really to own his own restaurant. And so one day he came to my job and he said, I think I found the place where I want to open a restaurant. So I'm like, well, if you're serious, you really should try it. Go over to the guy and approach him and ask him about buying them out.
Mm.
And then he can tell you the rest of that.
Well, that's part of the story.
Oh.
That's part of the story. But what really, I always wanted to open my own restaurant. But before that, we even thought about looking for the restaurant. We used to have a cookout for my birthday every year.
Oh, yeah.
Every year. And it grew from like 50 people to up to like 200 people.
Oh,
and then everybody used to always rave about, oh, you need to open up a restaurant, whatever restaurant. And since that was my dream, my vision one day, it just like clicked, like, you know, maybe they right. And Kim said, well, with all the people if just like 10% of the people that you know just come out and support the restaurant once a week, we should be all right.
Mm-hmm.
But needless to say, when it was free, they was, oh, you the God, you the king, we love you. But when I had to open up the restaurant and they had to pay,
mm-hmm.
My friends, I don't think you've seen too many of them more.
That's not true. That's not true. Because we were actually, you know what? We were blessed. We were successful from the door. Like we never had a time where we was really struggling to be in the restaurant business.
But 80% of our business, even then, was people I didn't know.
We didn't know, yeah. But okay, well, yeah, I give you that.
I'm talking about when the ones that was coming to the house for free, taking platters home.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Well,
that is.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, my husband couldn't come, or my boyfriend couldn't come. Oh, my kids didn't eat. I'm gonna they putting platters in the car and stuff like. Them the ones you didn't see. They come down every blue moon, but you know when you see them. Oh, my cousin just came home from. Can you give him a job? My daughter.
Why are you being all negative?
I'm just saying that's how it was. In reality,
it's just telling her what it is, you know. But listen,
ain't no such a sugarcoating it. I mean,
but it's something to which we can all relate.
Supporters, but you know, I just know when we opened up, when they had to pay, you know, it
was a different story. Maybe so.
And my thing is, a true friend to me, and they know you're just starting out, they should want to support you. They should want to make sure you make it. But you know, you found out who your true friend was.
We did have some of those folks that did want to, and still do.
Oh, we do have quite a few of them, but I'm just saying, out of the thousands that used to come to the house.
Thousands.
Yeah. I love it. Listen, but you know what? I know exactly to what you were referring. You know, my family also had nothing in comparison to what you guys have, but my family had businesses as well, and I understand exactly, you know, what you mean and what you're saying in that regard. But with regard to the support, I think the beauty in it is what you were saying about having newcomers come and stay and come again and again and again, because I know with my family, you know, that happened. There were people with whom we grew up in the neighborhood that always supported. You know, you had that core group, but the newcomers that came and then stayed and then brought friends. You know, I think that's the beauty in it because it grows and grows and grows in that regard. But I certainly can understand. I do understand exactly what you were saying. So it's interesting to me. Let me ask you about this, because you said in the beginning, like the smell of it was like the food smell, but the restaurant smell that bother you. Does it still bother you?
It was, it bothers me when I'm not in the restaurant. Like right now, you see he has on his uniform because we just got home. Yeah, that's bothering me. That smell bothers me.
Hey, Carl, since we keep it 100, right? I'm gonna tell you, you know what made me really marry her?
What made you marry?
Oh,
I gotta tell her this. Okay. I knew.
Okay, so when we met, Carol, we met. I didn't eat pork, and I was the type of person who not only did I not eat pork, I would read labels to make sure it wasn't any pork in what
Carol,
was purchased.
Carol, she just telling you part of the story. She was Muslim.
You didn't have to go there.
I'm just saying, go ahead. I just want to tell the story.
Okay, but anyway, I didn't eat pork, and I would make sure that it was never like in my household, any of that.
Okay.
And so, you know, because of that, he was very defiant, you know, and he wanted me, he just kind of broke me down, and he pretty much wanted pork in every damn thing. Yes, he did. No, so his ultimate, I guess, test was,
She was
baby,
pregnant.
I want some chitlins.
It was Christmas.
Will you make me some?
Oh.
Well, mind you, I ain't never cooked a chitlin in my life.
She Muslim, Carol. She
So
Muslim.
I said, okay, I cooked this Negro some chitlins. And why? Back then, all they had was that red box. Oh my God! Yes, and I was pregnant. Listen, I tried, but I had to call my mama on that one. I was like, Mom, come over here and do something with these.
Wait. Oh my goodness.
But I did try.
Listen, nothing beats a trier but a failure, right? That's what they used to tell me.
Hey, they were some of the best chitlins I had.
Yeah. She said, I think everybody has a chitlin story. Well, listen, you're not alone, because I still haven't tried to cook chitlins. I have not tried to cook them, and that's a shame. At the age that I am, I have not yet. I'm going to share with everybody. Family, if you're just tuning in, I should let you know that you are listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. And we are talking with the Jacksons, Kelsey and Kim. You know them. You know them well because you've tasted their food, and I know you love it, as do I. So we are talking about their love and their life, and I'm going to share my chitlin story. Okay, so I go into the supermarket because I was charged with buying the chitlins this particular year. Mm-hmm. I go into the supermarket and I'm in the neighborhood, so I said, wait, do I ask for chitlins or do I ask for chitterlings? Because they're spelled chitter. I said, okay, well, they spell chitterlings, so I'm going to ask. Mm-hmm. So I go and the first person that I see that works in the supermarket, he is not a person of color. And I said, do I ask him for chitlins or chitterlings? And I said, excuse me, can you tell me where the chitterlings are? He said, you mean chitlins? I said, you know how embarrassed I was. I said, see, that's what I'm saying. You should never. I had to talk to myself. But I had the audacity. I sure did. I said, never again will I say chitterlings, because that's not what they are. They're chitlins. Right? Anybody. And furthermore, if you offered me some chitterlings, I wouldn't eat them unless you called them chitlins. So let's just be real there. But in any event, that's my chitlin story. I don't think I'll try cooking them now. I'll clean them for you. I can clean them.
No.
Oh, you'll clean some?
Yes. Yeah. See,
I'm looking for help.
Listen, I will clean. Listen, I'll come clean them.
We used to sell them in the restaurant.
We still sell them.
No, we don't. And we'll never sell them again. Mark my words. Anybody looking for chitlins, they won't be there. Okay. They won't
I want some chitlins.
Because we're not going to have anybody cleaning them.
I'll clean them.
She just said she was going to help. She said she.
Yeah.
Hey,
okay. Well, listen. If Carol comes and cleans them, we'll have them. Okay.
Yeah. Listen. Count me in.
We already know that's not going to happen, right, Carol?
No, I'm gonna come clean them.
I'm just letting
Tell
you
her how many pounds you buy at a time.
Right. When I cook chitlins, I clean 200 pounds of chitlins and another 100 pounds of hog maws. So
okay, I'm going to have to. Yeah, but
you
Kim,
agree with me, right?
Yeah, I agree with you, Kim.
But
family, we will have Carol, no chitlins. I'm so sorry.
Carol, one thing about it, when I make them, they just fly off the. I mean, people just come from all over. They come from Philly, New York, DC. They come from all over to get these chitlins.
I have not had chitlins in about 4 years now. So I'm right now. This whole conversation is making me want some chitlins.
Ain't nothing like some good chitlins and some collard greens, potato salad, and some cornbread to sop it up. Oh my God!
Oh my! Listen, heavens to Murgatroyd, you hear me? That's a meal right there. That right there is a meal.
Trust me, I got a taste for some.
Wait.
Well, I can tell you who's not cooking them. Okay. You would have had to catch me 35 years ago when I tried it first time. Because I ain't trying it no more.
See, now she feels as though she's comfortable. She got me hooked. Got all these kids, all these bills. Now, she ain't gonna cook no chitlins. She ain't gonna clean no chitlins. You see what I'm talking about?
Kim, I don't know, Kim.
I ain't cleaning no chitlins, and I'm not cooking in there either. Sorry.
She said, look, I put my foot down. That's what it is. It is what it is. So let me ask you. Okay, so you said Do you, Kim, have a dish that's your dish, that's your thing, that you cook?
That I cook?
That you cook. Oh,
You know what I like to cook is probably he doesn't even like it. I like chicken livers.
huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Oh,
every time I eat chicken livers is ones that I have, that I cook. I don't go out and buy it anywhere. So when I'm in the mood for liver, I'm the one who cooks it. So
you know what? I
yeah,
like. I don't
I
know
like
that
chicken.
I don't know if that's different because as a child, when my mother would make liver, like I like liver, but
That
I
was
don't know
calf's liver
that was
probably.
this problem. I was about to say that.
I like
I
that
was
too,
about to say that.
but I really like chicken livers the best.
Well, you know what? I'm okay. I got a few more questions. So,
Now,
family.
I cook. I'm not a big. I cook at home, or I used to anyway. I don't really cook at home anymore. But I was the baker. I was the one who always baked everything.
Oh, see. Okay. I do have something to say to that. Family, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk some more about this bacon, these chitlins, and these chicken livers. Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back.
Word on Jobs.
A new year is here, and if you're searching for new career goals or a new job that fits your skill set, visit wordworks.com to view jobs and program opportunities, including Community Relations Coordinator for WHYY, Disability Services Director for NBME, and Policy Director for Bicycle Coalition of Greater Philadelphia. Visit wordworks at word.com and find the career opportunity that's right for you. Brought to you by Pico and Livelihood at Word Radio.
Imagine you on a deserted island all by yourself, or even being in a crowd of people yet still feeling alone. That's what being a victim of sexual assault can feel like. Victims of sexual assault are at an increased risk for developing depression, PTSD, substance abuse, eating disorders, and anxiety. Sexual assault can happen to anyone, and is any unwanted sexual contact such as unwanted touching, fondling, groping, or even rape. No always means no, so speak up and speak out. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Black Americans have died of COVID-19 at over 2 times the rate of white counterparts. This is due to systemic racism and healthcare disparities. Here are some tips for protecting yourself. Wear a mask covering your mouth and nose. Avoid crowds. Wash your hands with soap and water. Use alcohol-based sanitizers. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Practice social distancing and follow World Health Organization guidelines. Quarantine if you've been exposed to the virus. Self-isolate if you're experiencing symptoms. Seek medical attention if you experience difficulty breathing, a fever, cough, sudden confusion, or pressure in your chest. If you don't have health insurance or a healthcare provider, try contacting your state health department, community health clinics, or local hospitals for testing and treatment. Together, we can stay informed and empowered. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
When I cross the finish line, it's not just me. I succeed because of others. When I was pregnant, I survived because of others. At 32 weeks, I was diagnosed with preeclampsia and had an emergency C-section. Because my doctor took quick action and my husband was there to help me, I'm alive. Too many women die of pregnancy-related complications, and most are preventable. If you or someone you know is pregnant or recently had a baby, learn the warning signs. It could help save her life. Hear her.
For the Indianapolis Colts. Becoming a running back was no easy task for me, but it's nothing compared to what my amazing mom faces every day. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14 years old, yet she's always there for me, every step of the way, despite her own battles. And the Muscular Dystrophy Association is there for my mom. At their 150 care centers across the U.S., MDA is the leading organization in research and care for kids and adults with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Their research is helping find cures and save lives. Watching my mom go through her daily struggles and the care she receives from MDA has made me determined to help find a cure for neuromuscular disease. That is why I support MDA, and that's why I'm so grateful to others who do too. Join me and learn more at helpmda.org today.
Hi, Hi, I'm Tanya Hopkins, aka The Food Griot, the host of Savory and Sweet, a new show about food, history, and culture. Savory and Sweet is a flavorful exploration of food, marinated in the Black experience, seared with history and braised in culture. Each week, I'll fold in conversations that center food and drink at the intersection of business, health and well-being, entertainment, education, and innovation, while separating the facts from fiction on the sometimes surprising origins of what we eat and drink. So join me, the Food Griot, and special guests for Savory and Sweet, Food, History, and Culture every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. beginning January 2nd, 2022, exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent Black media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. I don't think I'll let you all know that you have every right to email us. You can do so by emailing loveandlife@wordradio.com. You can send us topics to discuss. You can send us comments, questions. You might just want to say hello, and we're open to that too. Again, you can email us at loveandlife@wordradio.com. That's WURD, of course. Loveandlife@wordradio.com. So if you have just tuned in, let me let you know that we are talking with the Jacksons, Kelsey and Kim, and they're talking with us about their love story. They're sharing with us, I should say, they're sharing with us their love story and talking with us about their empire. So I'm jumping all over the place, but I have a question about, so you were talking about when you met and then how you reconnected.
Mm-hmm.
You said that you've both been married before. What was different about each other this time, when you decided to connect and remain connected? What was different?
Well, I think we were definitely more mature. I mean, we were very young when we met the first time. And being as though we were both in other relationships, I guess we kind of knew what to expect type thing, and just a little bit older, able to deal with, in marriage, you definitely have ups and downs, and you're able to deal with those ups and downs better than when you are newly married and think that everything is going to be a rose garden.
Oh, now that's a whole word right there. That's a whole word right there.
Yeah.
But there's a whole lot of truth, so much to nothing but truth in what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking about your maturation process and being at another stage of it, and you say after you guys had gotten married, was it a year and a half, 2 years when you had your son? Was it?
Yes.
So you had your son. So now you're in married life. You have your first child. Had you guys had
Our second child?
Your-
We both have two. We have daughters from our first relationship, and then we have two sons together.
And just so happened they both was the same age.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Okay.
they're like 15 days apart.
Wait a minute. Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
this
then
sounds like
all of my
kismet.
kids are named with a K. And I don't know if he planted that was going to happen, but that's what we did. And I had a girl. My daughter's name is Karima. His daughter's name is Classic with a K. I'm Kim. He's Kelsey, and then we had Kayshawn and Kelsey Jr. So we're all K's.
This sounds like kismet. Okay. That's what it sounds like. This is what okay, so family, this is what you call enchantment and divine orchestration. That's what you call this.
Yeah.
But that's so funny. I had my aunt and uncle with whom I used to stay in the summer, spend some time with in the summer. My aunt liked K's, and my middle name is Kimberly. So, of course, I was Kimberly whenever I was with them because they had a Kia,
Okay.
a Kyra, and a Kimberly. So
Okay.
K's are pretty popular, I see. I never knew that. I
Mm-hmm.
never knew how popular K's were. But
Mm-hmm.
that's really interesting. But in any event, I digress. So now I want to know so much more about how you guys you guys came together. You said, okay, this is it. This is it. But how did you know? What was it about? So you're just at a different level of maturity, or was it something that you both saw in each other that you said, this is it. This is what I want. I don't want to be anywhere else.
What you think, Boo?
I believe that after being together, being away from each other for so long, and then getting back, it was just like it just felt right. She made me a better person. She made me, when I talked to her about my goals, my ambitions, the things I want to do, she encouraged me. So my thing is, I'm a firm believer behind every great man is a greater woman. And she pushes me to be all I can be. I work my 10, 12, 14 hours a day, whatever is necessary. And people say I love it, which I do love it. But my thing is, my motivation is my family. I'd work 20 hours, 24 hours, to make them happy.
I appreciate hearing you say that, but I heard the same thing in you, Kim, when you were saying, listen, you said, look, I cannot get out of my head when you were talking about the smell of him coming home, but that wasn't a deterrent for you. You were still supportive. Because he said this is his dream, and when you said he said this is his dream, you said it doesn't sound like you blinked at that.
No, not at all. I think his dream definitely became mine. When he met me, I was already employed. I had a great job making good money, and I worked for a labor's union. And the labor's union decided to merge with another union, and they moved to North Jersey. And so I had the opportunity to decide whether I wanted to travel or just completely leave my job. And at that point, the restaurant had been, he was fully employed at the restaurant when this happened, because when we first originally opened the restaurant, he worked 2 jobs for 2 years. I mean, he worked both the jobs, his regular job and the restaurant, for 2 years before he ever made that full commitment, and he was pretty much kind of, killing himself. And I went to him, I said, listen, the restaurant is really supporting its own. It's time for you to make a decision to put your all into it and not just do it, on a part-time basis. Because at one point when we first opened, I think we didn't open up until 4:00 in the afternoon.
Ron used to open up for me. I used to be there by 2 o'clock.
But originally that didn't happen. No. Okay. Anyway, I know you weren't there full time. And then, after 2 years, you went to Trump Marina and told them that, you were going to be you're going to be leaving and you're going to be at the restaurant for, full time. And people kind of was like, oh, why would you do that? But
because I made good money.
He was the relief cook, so he made good money there. But like I said, I believe we were blessed because the restaurant was successful from the time we opened the door. I don't think that we ever had any. Matter of fact, I know we've never had, because I pay all the bills, but we've never had a situation where, oh, how are we going to pay this bill? In the restaurant. And to me, that's a blessing. That's hard to say, to be in business and not have to worry about ever having to pay a bill. Now that's early on when we had a small restaurant. I think once we grew and started adding more restaurants to the mix, that's when the struggle came on. How are we going to keep the lights on, type thing,
So let me ask you this: the first restaurant that you opened, how long ago was that?
It was in 1997.
Wow.
In Pleasantville. That was the first one. It was called KELSEY and Kim's Soul Food and Barbecue.
In Pleasantville. And
that was the original one.
It was open 21 years before it burned down.
Yeah. And then after that, when I told you I had left my job and I went and got my real estate. Well, I had my real estate. As a matter of fact, I was in real estate school when Kelsey actually met me for the second time, because when he said that I went to the bus stop, I was dropping off a classmate that was in school with me. So I had my real estate license, but I didn't really do anything with it because I met him. And then I had my other job, and, you know, I already had a child, and then we ended up having another child. So I let it go. And then when I decided to leave my job is when I went back into real estate, and I learned that I'm not really a go-getter. You know, I'm not really a people's person, to be honest with you. You know, I'm a person who, if you know you want to buy a house, I can sell you one. I can tell you how to look for the look for the best value and all of that. But if you need to be convinced that you need a house, then I'm not that person. You see
I'm like, yes.
You know, when the market was booming and everything, some people just was like, oh, I don't know. I want a house. But, you know, they go in and they look at the frills of it all. Whereas I go in and I'll be like, okay, you know, I can show you how to do a fixer-upper and look for the value in a house, not necessarily the frills, because you can always paint, hang pictures, and make it frilly. But some people, you know, look for the frill of it, and that wasn't me. So I was, you know, I'm not the person to keep driving you around 100 times before you make a decision. That's not what I do. So when that didn't work out for me, I decided to open another restaurant. I said, okay, the restaurants are successful, but I didn't think that I could work with him all day, every day, and still come home to him too.
Yeah.
So I said, listen, I'm gonna have to have my restaurant and you can have yours. We're going to open up two. So I opened up one in Galloway called Kelsey and Kim's Rotisserie Grill. And it did really well.
Carol, you hear what she said? She opened up.
I'm saying we opened it, but you know, it was more for me to have a job. Really.
Hey, Carol, check this out. The funny thing about it, all it did was make more work for me because I still produced the food.
That's kind of true and not true. You didn't.
Oh, she made the coleslaw. I'm sorry for this. She made the coleslaw.
Listen, that's not true. I was in the kitchen frying chicken, pork chops. I was in there, you know, putting everything together. He didn't have to walk through the building, you know. So you didn't.
Hey, Carol. But check this out, Carol. You know, every time we get in an argument, she was like, "I'm doing this for you. This is your love. This is your thing." So I hit it like this, right?
He's right.
She's not
lying about that.
She told me, she's like, well, you know, you'll never know. Don't block your blessings. You'll never know what this restaurant business can do for you if you don't give it 100%. That's what she told me when I left my job. So I said, well, you know, she talking about I'm doing like she's just helping me out, right? Now she ain't working, but she just helped me out. Like, I'm just doing this for you. I said, well, you got all these degrees and everything. You're very intelligent, blah, blah, blah. You got this license and all this. I said, but maybe you blocking your blessings. She said, what you mean? I said, well, if the Lord wants you to do something else, why he ain't open another avenue for you? Why you still in the kitchen? So maybe you need to give your 100% to what we have so we can grow together.
Because I never seen myself being in the restaurant. I never. But it happened. It turned out to be that way. As a matter of fact, my name shouldn't even have been on the restaurant. You know, that's originally how it was. Originally, when we was coming up with names, the only reason I'm gonna tell you this, and I probably shouldn't, but the only reason it was called Kelsey and Kim's was because my brother said to me, Kim, you gonna open up a business and just let Kelsey's name be on it? You know how many women are gonna be after Kelsey? And then I said to him, I didn't even tell him this part. I said, okay, we're going to call it Kelsey and Kim's. So now, you know, so many years later, after we had opened up 3 restaurants, and the final one is Kelsey's. And who came up with the name?
Hey, Carl.
I said to him, you cannot name this restaurant Kelsey and Kim's. And he was like, why? I said, because every time you go to a restaurant with the same name, like if you go to a McDonald's, you expect the same thing. And we knew that we wanted the concept of Kelsey's to be different. And he said, well, no, we already have a brand. Everybody knows Kelsey and Kim's. We have to name it Kelsey's, you know, and it was like end of discussion. And I said to him, well, what about if we name it Kelsey's? He was like, okay. You know, it was like, you know, He just changed his mind right away when I said name it Kelsey.
Well, Carol, she want to still let know, but I knew why she wanted Kim on the. I mean, we knew why she wanted Kim on there.
Why? You didn't know why.
Yes, I did.
Well,
you know why when I didn't even know why.
I knew why. And that's the only reason she wanted to name it Kelsey's, because now she was comfortable. She was secure. She knew I wasn't going nowhere. So, it was your dream.
No,
it was your vision.
It really was.
It's Kelsey.
His dream to be in the restaurant business. So, I was older, mature. So I'm like, okay, we need another name. So why not just call it Kelsey's?
I knew where he was going with that. I knew he was going with that, Kim, because he said you would head over heels in love. So, you just couldn't let the name be, just Kelsey's. It had to be Kelsey's and Kim.
And the funny thing, when we opened up Kelsey's, everybody thought we separated. It was all on social media.
I never knew that.
Yeah, it was all on social media. Yeah, there was people saying, "Oh, Kelsey and Kim broke up. She got the one up in Melrose, and he got the one."
I never heard that.
People are funny. People won't they rewrite your script? They will make every attempt. Family, listen.
We'll get into that.
I'm sitting there explaining why they not both named Kelsey and Kim's, and I just explained they different. This is more of a supper club. We have a lot of
concepts are
different.
We have a liquor license.
Come patronize, and you'll know why it's different. Why it's just named Kelsey. How about that? Come patronize. Family, we'll be right back. We're going to take a short break. Stay with us.
Okay.
What's up, y'all? It's Janae Latrice
and Kayla J. Be sure to tune in Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. for
Crosswords, sharing conversations across generations, right here on WURD.
Progressive Black Talk Media.
We'll see you there.
I remember this one moment. I ran to kind of the water edge, and my mom said something along the lines of like, now it's your turn. Take that first step. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. There's some light within her that makes me continue to do the climate science work that I do. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. As moms, we care about our children and the environment they grow up in. And for Mia, I want you to know that I worked really hard to be a part of the change and to make it a better place for you.
Email from school about the incident today.
Scary.
Tell me about it. Did you have any idea that was going on?
None. I mean, you saw Derek at the game last night too. Did you have a clue?
No, but teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do. Kids hear first about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
It can be hard to tell sometimes, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, bullying, violence, anything, you need to tell an adult. Mom or me, a teacher, coach, school counselor, someone you know and trust.
Dad, no kid is gonna tell an adult about that kind of stuff.
I get it, but if we don't know, we can't help. Speaking up about a problem, that's what helping a friend is all about.
A lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
We're often influenced by what we see or hear on social media. Beware of disinformation campaigns targeting Black communities by using cultural issues to incite divisions, spread false information, and negatively influence public opinions. We're in this together, and together we can stay informed and empowered. Learn more at nbcit.org. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things will never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
Hey, still shopping for the new year? Or did you receive a gift card for the holidays? Either way, WURD Radio's got you covered. Visit WURDradio.com and shop at the WURD Virtual Marketplace. You can support local, small, Black-owned businesses through the marketplace and shop today. Visit WURDradio.com/marketplace or WURDworks.com/marketplace. You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent Black media.
Welcome back, family. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. I want to say hello to our family members joining us on our socials. We know that you are there, and we appreciate you for hanging out with us in this midnight hour. So if you are just tuning in, I want to let you know that we are talking with our guests tonight, who are none other than Kelsey and Kim Jackson. And they've been sharing with us, their journey, or some of their journey, I should say. We've been talking about bits and pieces, and we're going to talk about it some more. So welcome. So I have a question about when you guys come up with a concept for a new, for a new business, like when you've decided, okay, this is what I want to do or we're going to do. Is it necessary for you both to agree on the concept before you actually begin making it come to fruition? Or does one say, this is what I want to do, and the other just says, okay, I'm just going to rock with it?
No, we definitely agree. I don't think it's not much that we don't agree on that we do.
Mm-hmm. He is the peanut gallery over there. Let me tell you.
Early on, it's like he would always come to me though to make the decisions. But now he's full of himself. Everything, he thinks he has the answers to everything, and I gotta talk him down. But we always have a conversation, and we always tend to agree.
It sounds like, Kim, you are. So I'm learning. I'm going to say this. I'm learning with the different couples with whom I speak. There's always that one that is responsible for holding the other accountable.
Well, I'm going to say it like this. It's just like pulling teeth. Because my thing is, if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. Mm-hmm. So, when we moved from Pleasantville to Galloway, even to Melrose and Lang City, mm-hmm. I always had a gut feeling that we would do well. And even with come to the Kentucky Avenue location, when we went to go look at it, she was like, "Oh, Kelsey, I don't know. The overhead on that building, we going from a small takeout restaurant to a 50-seat restaurant to now you're going to 200-seat restaurant and you want to do live entertainment. She's like, we need to sleep on this. So we went to Vegas and we went to see this show at Harris, and it's called Legends. And they was singing all the old school songs. They was doing Patti LaBelle, the Temptations. They were just imitating everybody. And I'm sitting there, and my gut feeling, I was like, Kim, I think we can make it. She was like, Kelsey, that's a whole lot to handle. I said, Kim, she's like, Atlantic City's not doing well this time. I said, but my gut feeling, in 3 to 5 years, Atlantic City gonna turn around. She's like, I don't know. So a couple weeks later, it was gonna be my birthday. She asked me what I wanted for my birthday. And she said, I said, a kettle. And she's like, a kettle? I said, yeah. A kettle's a big steam pot that we have in the kitchen now. So she knew what I was talking about. She said, Kelsey, we can do it, but I'm just telling you, I don't have a good feeling about it. I said, well, I don't think we're going to be busy right away. It's going to take time to grow. We're going to build it. It's not going to be like Melrose or Pleasantville because it's different. Needless to say, the first year, it was sad. The second year, it was getting a little bit better. We gradually getting a little better. And, we started doing brunch and everything. And we started getting some faithful people just coming down from all the time, from Philly, New York, DC. And after 3 years, she was like, Kelsey, I think we need to just go in and wash our hands with this location. She said, because we're taking the money from the smaller location to cover this one. I said, Kim, trust me, it's going to turn around. And we had a couple signs that it was going to work. The one sign, we met this pastor from New York. I forget his name, but he used to come down every so often, every couple months, and him and his wife. And the last time he came down, he was celebrating his 40th anniversary or 50th anniversary. And he ate breakfast. He ate dinner over Melrose. He come over, eat brunch at Kelsey's. Then he'd go back. He was going back and forth. So the Sunday he was getting ready to leave, he came to brunch. And he said, Kelsey, is your wife here? I said, yeah. He said, do you think I could talk to both of y'all at the same time? I said, sure. So I go get Kim and everything. So we walk over to the table, and he said, on my way here, the Lord spoke to me. And he told me to bless you. So I'm thinking he getting ready to pray for us. He reaches in his pocket, grabs out his checkbook, and gave us, was it $500? We wrote a check for $500.
No.
I said, we don't need your money. He said, look here, Kelsey, don't block your blessings. He said, the Lord told me to bless. I don't care what you do with this check, but I'm going to bless you. Wow. He said, and the crazy thing about it, he said, and when my son come back in town, that's the only thing that come true so far. He said, when my son come back in town, I'm going to get him to come meet you. He said, my son plays, I think he said the drums for John Legend. I mean, but I was just like overwhelmed. It brought tears to my eyes. I was about to cry.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm about to cry because go ahead. I'm so sorry. Wow.
His story, you never mentioned the wife though, because the wife was there too. But you always change the story up. But what happened is what Kelsey's saying. But what he didn't tell you is on our way to work. I don't know if you told her this. I was saying to him that we need to let the rest. Like I had enough. I was like up. It wasn't just the bills; it was the frustration
of the employees.
Not just the just the frustration of the restaurant business was just really getting to me. Running one restaurant is hard, but two is just like unbelievable. And the challenges that we were facing, I'm thinking, why am I putting myself through this? Because you can do something out of love, and I feel like I've committed myself to the restaurant out of the love for Kelsey.
Right.
Okay? Not because of the love of wanting to own a business or wanting to provide the service that we provide. That's not, I like that, but the reason why I do it is for the love of him. Whereas he loves the restaurant business. He loves to see people smile. He loves to feed people. He loves to see how they enjoy his food, that. And I love to see his reaction on when they tell him that. So, we're motivated by two different things. But really, that day I was like, I had enough coming in. I said I had enough. I don't really want to do this for the rest of my life. And that gentleman came in and he approached me first. He didn't approach you, Kelsey, because you wasn't there. You was at Sam's Club. Him and his wife came to me and they said that they wanted to speak to me and my husband together. And I'm thinking, oh hell, what is this about now? And I had no idea what it was going to be about.
Wait, Kim, I'm so sorry. I want to interrupt you for just one moment. And I hate that I have to do this, but we have to take a commercial break. I want you to continue this when we come right back. Family, stay with us because we'll be right back.
Stand with WURD Radio, Pennsylvania's only black-owned talk radio station. Join the movement to keep the conversations going and amplify the voice of the black community. Show your support. Start or renew your 4WURD membership today at WURDradio.com or call 215-425-7875.
A lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
I'm Naheem Hines, professional football player for the Indianapolis Colts. Becoming a running back was no easy task for me, but it's nothing compared to what my amazing mom faces every day. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14 years old, yet she's always there for me, every step of the way, despite her own battles. And the Muscular Dystrophy Association is there for my mom. At their 150 care centers across the U.S., MDA is the leading organization in research and care for kids and adults with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Their research is helping find cures and save lives. Watching my mom go through her daily struggles and the care she receives from MDA has made me determined to help find a cure for neuromuscular disease. That is why I support MDA, and that's why I'm so grateful to others who do too. Join me and learn more at helpmda.org today.
I remember this one moment. I ran to kind of the water edge, and my mom said something along the lines of like, now it's your turn. Take that first step. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. There's some light within her that makes me continue to do the climate science work that I do. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. As moms, we care about our children and the environment they grow up in. And for Mia, I want you to know that I worked really hard to be a part of the change and to make it a better place for you.
Imagine you on a deserted island all by yourself, or even being in a crowd of people yet still feeling alone. That's what being a victim of sexual assault can feel like. Victims of sexual assault are at an increased risk for developing depression, PTSD, substance abuse, eating disorders, and anxiety. Sexual assault can happen to anyone and is any unwanted sexual contact such as unwanted touching, fondling, groping, or even rape. No always means no, so speak up and speak out. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media. Lifting every voice
till earth and heaven ring.
This is WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, Philadelphia.
Black Talk Media.
Well, hello and welcome to the top of the second hour of Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. When I tell you that, well, first, family, I should let you know that we are talking with none other than Kelsey and Kim Jackson. And before the break, they were sharing with us a story, one of the instances and experiences in their lives that I like to consider divine orchestration. So Kim was in the midst of the story when I had to interrupt her, and I'm so terribly sorry that I did. But you said that he came in. This pastor
came in and he gave us a check, and he just told us to do whatever we wanted with it. And I was just like, I couldn't believe it, because normally, people are coming in and they want something for nothing. Never has anyone ever came and gave us a check and said he just wanted to sow a seed. He said he didn't want anything for it. Just do whatever you wanted with it. And I was dumbfounded. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, you know what? That must be God, because I wanted to just throw in the towel. I really did. I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore.
It was a straight tearjerker. I'm telling you,
it definitely was. It definitely was.
It was a tearjerker. I'm telling you, like, it just blew me away.
Well, I mean, I'm half speechless at the story myself, because you I mean, quite honestly, as you know, that just doesn't happen.
It does not.
That just does not happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I must share with you that he said his son plays drums for John Legend. And
Yes.
that means that's Rashid's dad. I know Rashid. Rashid is family. Rashid plays drums.
And the sad part about it, I think it's a disgrace that me and Kelsey, either one of us don't remember his name. But he is definitely the reason why one of the reasons why I, had, he just lifted me up when I needed it. So I thank him for what I really do.
Well, now I feel compelled. I'm going to reach out to Rashid and find out
if it was his father.
I sure am.
His father, a pastor.
Yes. No, he is. That's what but I know. I know John.
Names?
I know John Legend, but I know Rashid. Mm-hmm. I know the band, because we all have played, right, as you know. So I'm going to. And when he said come home, because Rashid no longer lives in New Jersey, I'm telling all of his business, and I don't intend to do so. But outside of this conversation, we'll talk offline and we'll talk about all of that. But I mean, my heart just first and foremost, it makes me feel good, because, like I say, we're all in this together. I say it every day to anybody within earshot. We are all in this together. And I just believe that because we're living in these COVID compromised times, I keep calling it a COVID compromised existence. Everybody, whether they even realize it or not, is in a place of hurt, because we've all dealt with so much detachment. We've dealt with so much, and it just feels good, number one, to share love stories like yours. And it feels good to share stories that you're sharing. It feels good to me to hear a story of that, of someone just doing good, just for another human being. That's a hug to my heart. That's what that is.
And then it was two other things that made me feel that we was gonna make it. The second time, the very first time, before even the pastor came through, I met this guy we was just, I think it was like the first year operation we was in, and we might have had maybe like 5 tables in the whole restaurant. But somebody came in the kitchen and said, "Yo, DJ Cool's in the dining room."
Oh,
I'm like, DJ Cool. I said, let me go out there. Because one of the things when I'm not busy in the kitchen, I go out there and conversate, talk to people. So I goes out there, DJ Cool really in the dining room. But then there was this other cat with glasses on, bald head, you know what I mean? And I saw introducing, hey, how y'all doing? Welcome to Kelsey, blah, blah, blah. And he said, well, man, my name is Walt Reader. You know what I mean? I'm part of Big Block Entertainment, blah, blah, blah. He just explains to me. And I said, well, where y'all from? He said, he from Philly, I think. I said, well, you know, I'm originally from North Philly. I was born in Richard Island Projects, but I was born in Philly, but I was raised in Lang City. He's like, what? He's like, look here, man, you my brother. And he said, look here, I'm a part of this group called Platinum Entertainment. He said, we throw shows down here in Lang City. He said, man, look here, anytime we do an event down here, we gonna make sure you're a part of it. And he was a man of his word. He said, I'm gonna get you some talent. He said, look here, I'm gonna get you some talent that'll work for this room. He got me Glenn Jones. He got me who else get me? He got Miss Carol Riddick. He got me some Grace Little, some Jeff Bradshaw. You know what I'm saying?
Family.
He hooked me up with Harold Melvin, Blue Notes, Poogie and the Delphonics. What's that? What he gave me?
A lot of people.
Oh, he just, the list goes on. We start getting bigger and bigger with Avant, Kiki Wyatt. But he said, we gonna help you grow. And he was a man of his word. I mean, we love Walt and Platinum. I mean, they truly
Platinum
family.
Productions, Big Block Entertainment. Yes.
So,
now you already know. Y'all already know that Walt Reader Jr. is my family, and Miss Bonnie, because you know I can't talk to Walt and not ask how's Miss Bonnie. How's Miss Bonnie? So Walt Reader Jr. He knows. He already knows. He knows how much I love him. So does Miss Bonnie. She knows how much I love her too. They're family. They're family. And you're absolutely right about that. Because once you meet them, if they love you, oh, that's it. Oh, if they love you, that's it.
And then when I met Bill and John,
he was a
wreck.
Yeah. You know, and you know, I must say too, it must be something. It's about that Philly and Jersey. We have a connection, whether anybody wants to own it or not. Philly and Jersey, we are so deeply connected on so many levels because there's so many people, people that live in Jersey that were born in Jersey, but when they go out of town, I'm from Philly. Same, and it just happens. It just happens like that all the time. But I love it because I love how strong our bond is. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then another time I went out in the dining room for brunch, and it was maybe like 50 people in the dining room. So I'm walking around talking to everybody, checking out everything, they enjoying everything. And this one party was a party of 2. And he said he was from Philly and everything. I said, well, how's everything? He said, everything's good and everything. He said, man, I heard about this spot. So, man, my wife, we don't really do casinos. We just came down here to try your food, and we're going to get back on the highway and go back home. He said, so how's business? I said, well, business is okay. It's starting to pick up and everything. But, I just wish, we had more local people out to support the business because everybody went to the dining room at the time was all from Philly, New York, Sicklerville, Bridgeton, Violent. It wasn't nobody in there from Atlantic City. So he said, look here. He said, well, look here. We came down just for the day, my brother. He said, if you keep doing what you're doing and stay focused, eventually you're going to have lines out the door. And the people from the locals going to wonder they're going to want to know what's going on. And they eventually will come. But, I mean, we kept doing what we was doing. And, we start bringing, that's one of the main reasons we start bringing local entertainment in for. I thought that would draw up more locals, but we bring the entertainment in. We still drawing people from Philly, New York, DC, everywhere else. So that's when I started bringing in the heavy hitters. I said, well, let me bring in Carl Thomas. And when we got Carl Thomas rate, my wife, we used to do a weekly meeting. We do a weekly meeting about what's going on with all the managers and everything.
Okay.
And so my general manager, her and my wife are real cool. So she calls her. She's like, well, we're in the meeting. She's like, well, the contracts with Carl Thomas came back and he want X, Y, Z. My wife, she got like, oh, well, we not a big enough venue for Carl Thomas.
Okay.
You know, he shut it down, right?
You know, I'm the financial person. and we're definitely opposites, okay? But opposites do attract because he doesn't mind taking risk. And me to a fault, I'm more cautious. I want to make sure that everything is going to be everything. I don't want to lose anything just because we overstated something, you know. So
she said, I stay in the black.
After the meeting, Carl, I told my general manager, I said, look here, make some changes on the contract and send it back and see if they agree. So needless to say, she make the changes. So I'm thinking, I'm talking to her on the side. I'm thinking she gonna talk to me on the side. But no. The following week, we had a weekly meeting. We all finished through the meeting, everything ready to break. She said, oh, by the way, Kelsey, the contracts came back for Carl Thomas and he agreed. So Ms. Jackson says, I thought we agreed last week that Kelsey's wasn't big enough to do Carl Thomas. I'm like,
check this
I
move
said,
out.
okay. I said, you're right. We agreed that Kelsey's wasn't a big enough venue for Carl Thomas. I said, but Kelsey, the man, is bringing Carl Thomas.
He gonna bring over his own money. You ain't got no own money. It's my money too.
hey, Carol, but check this out. Carol, but check this out. She didn't even know why I wanted to bring Carl Thomas this date.
Oh my goodness.
I was bringing him June 6th. She never put 2 and 2 together, but June 6th was our anniversary.
I was about to say, don't you tell me.
So needless to say, we had 2 sold out shows for Carl Thomas. And when I got Carl Thomas to sing Happy Anniversary, bring us up on stage, you know I was that dude again.
I was totally embarrassed because again, I'm not a people person. I'm a back of the house personality. I don't like being the center of attention or any of that. I mean, I appreciate the effort he made, but you know, that's not what I do.
But check it out. They ain't the kicker, right? So see, her problem was she thought it was about me or us making money on Carl Thomas. See, it was never about making money on Carl Thomas. It was always about building the brand. Because in all my contracts, all the artists have to advertise on their social media that they performing. So if he got 1 million followers, 1 million people gonna know he's performing at Kelsey's in Atlantic City.
Right.
So it was all about building the brand. It was not about, as long as I break even. I say even if we lost a couple dollars, I still had Carl Thomas on my stage.
And on your anniversary, you got to listen. You
know what she told me?
Kim?
Know what she told me, Carol? Okay, you got lucky. Do what you do and stay in the kitchen.
So no, I've never told you to stay in the kitchen because he's the one who kisses the babies. Like he has to go around, handshake, say hello to everybody and all of that because that's not what I do. I'm back in the house. We all got our roles, and
hello.
She's like, you're not a promoter. Stick to what you do.
Well,
so needless to say, I talked to my man Walt, and he said, "Look here, how would you like to have Kelly Price?" I'm like, "Okay, sounds like a plan." Needless to say, she was upset about that. Again, guess what happened?
Upset? No.
But guess what? 2 sold out shows.
All right.
Kelly Price.
All right.
He's like, you got lucky again, but let's leave it alone.
Yeah, now you're exaggerating.
Look at it. Then so the next time it was in October. Walt told me about this guy from DC, Maryland area. They call him the Love King or something.
Yeah.
Mr. Raheem Devon.
How about I love Raheem now? I absolutely love him. I love his music. I love him. He's a wonderful spirit.
He is.
And guess what?
What?
2 sold out shows, right? At the end of the night, it's time to leave. We walking out the door. She gonna pinch me in the rear, talking about who's next.
I did. You saw me say, "Who you bringing next? Who you bringing next?"
Let me tell you something, Kim. My takeaway from this whole entire conversation is that you were in a car and he walked 3 blocks. You hear me? That's my whole takeaway, because he said, "I think that was her." He didn't know for sure.
What you didn't realize, I knew when I see somebody that need to be saved.
Oh my, you saved me. Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Okay. Oh Jesus, I wonder what you saved me from.
You know what I'm saying? I saved her from herself.
You know, our son is in the background and he's just shaking his head. Because he knows how narcissistic his father is.
I saved her from herself.
I can't take it.
He's just shaking his head. He has nothing to say.
Oh, I can't take it. He said he saved you. But listen, you heard what my takeaway is. You both heard my takeaway. So every single story that you tell me.
And I'm glad it came out of his mouth and not mine.
He said, "I think that was her. I think, I saw her in the car." And I said, "I think that was her." And I walked 3 blocks.
I didn't want to catch a cab and I was walking.
Oh,
I needed a ride.
Okay.
I didn't even give you a ride, so don't even try it.
Okay.
That ain't true.
Family, oh my goodness. So if you just tuned in, you're listening to and you're watching Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. So now you told me that your son is off to the side. He's nodding his head. Tell me what kind of family dynamic is there with regard to the businesses? Now,
Well, we have, like I said, we have 2 daughters from our previous marriages, and then we have the 2 sons together, and now we have 5 grandchildren. So we have one of our granddaughters is here as well.
I was hearing the sugar lump in the background. The sugar lump.
She wants her pop-up to play a game with her, but we're doing this.
That used to be me.
Don't want to try to take no for an answer.
That used to be me with my pop-up. Oh my goodness, I was a pop-ups girl. But let me ask you, are any of them chefs? Do they cook? Do they bake?
Our oldest son works in the restaurant. He is a server, assistant manager. But at some point in time, they've all worked in the restaurant. Early on, they definitely worked in the restaurant at some point in time. They've done something.
Okay. Especially when they was in high school. Like my daughters.
They were cashiers very early. My son was cashier.
He was a cashier.
Yeah.
Dishwasher, cook,
Yeah, they've all done something. But now, they all have careers, except for Kelsey Jr. that works in the restaurant now. The rest of them, they all have professional careers, so they made sure that they wouldn't be involved in the restaurant.
Wait. Listen, I overstand. I was a pot washer. That's what they called me. I was a dishwasher.
Come home, they would when early on, I was always a person who cooked dinner and all that kind of stuff. But once we developed the restaurants and everything, I would go home and my kids be like, "I don't want no Kelsey and Kim."
Oh my God. Y'all didn't know what y'all had. We would all want Kelsey's and Kim's every night. Y'all, we don't want that. We don't want that.
Even the 2 of us, we don't want it. Listen, we will work all day long and then end up at McDonald's or end up at Wawa or somewhere, quick, because we work all day. And he's cooking all day. He could really cook us a meal, but he doesn't want what he cooked.
Look at it. My thing is, I'm sampling everything all day long.
Yeah.
Whether I'm making collard greens, string beans, cabbage, black eyed peas, gravy. I'm
tasting.
One of the real reasons why we have a restaurant, because he was a production cook in the casinos. He would come home. I would ask him to make. He makes the best marinara that you've ever tasted, like better than Italians. Okay, so I would ask him to make spaghetti. We would have enough spaghetti for the whole block, and every single pan in my kitchen, every single dish, every single serving spoon, nothing went untouched. And I said, you know what? If you're gonna cook, you have to get in a restaurant, because you can't come in my kitchen and do this. I mean, like, it would be, you would touch everything. It would just be a mess,
really,
a complete mess. And really? I'm like, okay, if you're gonna cook something, you definitely gotta go somewhere else and cook it, because you can't cook it in here.
Really.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Really? So that's one of the reasons why I did cook at home. I didn't want him to because he would dirty up everything.
Really?
Wait, but does he clean? Does he clean?
No, absolutely not. No.
Really?
See, that's the thing.
And then you have enough for a lifetime. Like, I'm like, can't you just make a small pot of spaghetti?
Hey, Carol,
it ain't for 5 of us.
Now check this out. Was it Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving?
Or was it Christmas?
For what?
Christmas. It was Christmas. She went ask me. She talking about
this past Christmas.
This past Christmas. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna cook dinner with the family and everybody here." I'm like, "Okay, she gonna cook, right?" I'm happy. I'm like, I'm gonna chill, watch TV. She's talking about, "Oh, won't you pick up a ribeye? You know, this and some spinach." And I'm thinking she gonna cook. She's like, "No, it's all leave it all at the restaurant and just bring it home with you."
Wait a minute, Kim. Kim said, wait a minute.
But look, the moral of his story is he ended up cooking everything, but yes, he did cook it at the restaurant and bring it home. And it was fabulous.
She said you still were not in her kitchen. You still weren't in her kitchen. Her dishes were clean. Yes. Oh my goodness. Family, listen, we're going to take a break and we will be right back.
Hi, I'm Tanya Hopkins, aka The Food Griot, the host of Savory and Sweet, a new show about food, history, and culture. Savory and Sweet is a flavorful exploration of food, marinated in the Black experience, seared with history and braised in culture. Each week, I'll fold in conversations that center food and drink at the intersection of business, health and well-being, entertainment, education, and innovation, while separating the facts from fiction on the sometimes surprising origins of what we eat and drink. So join me, the Food Griot, and special guests for Savory and Sweet, Food, History, and Culture every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
What do an aerospace engineer, cancer immunologist, and bat scientist all have in common? We all have cool jobs in STEM fields. Whether it's building robots or learning to code, girls everywhere are finding their passion for science, technology, engineering, and math through positive role models and mentors. So dare to dive in, get connected, and explore. You never know what your future may hold. Learn more about these and even more cool jobs at shecanstem.com.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things can never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
Black Americans have died of COVID-19 at over 2 times the rate of white counterparts. This is due to systemic racism and healthcare disparities. Here are some tips for protecting yourself. Wear a mask covering your mouth and nose. Avoid crowds. Wash your hands with soap and water. Use alcohol-based sanitizers. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Practice social distancing and follow World Health Organization guidelines. Quarantine if you've been exposed to the virus. Self-isolate if you're experiencing symptoms. Seek medical attention if you experience difficulty breathing, a fever, cough, sudden confusion, or pressure in your chest. If you don't have health insurance or a healthcare provider, try contacting your state health department, community health clinics, or local hospitals for testing and treatment. Together, we can stay informed and empowered. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
When I cross the finish line, it's not just me. I succeed because of others. When I was pregnant, I survived because of others. At 32 weeks, I was diagnosed with preeclampsia and had an emergency C-section. Because my doctor took quick action and my husband was there to help me, I'm alive. Too many women die of pregnancy-related complications, and most are preventable. If you or someone you know is pregnant or recently had a baby, learn the warning signs. It could help save her life. Hear her.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
Well, hello there, and welcome back to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. We have been talking during this entire episode about love, life, up, down, everything in between. And we're talking with none other than Kelsey and Kim Jackson. They've been telling us about their entire empire. And we were talking about the family and all of that good stuff. They were sharing some good things if you missed it. So what I want to know now, I like to ask every couple with whom I speak, do you guys have date nights?
We don't. We have more of date weeks. We have weeks that we plan and we go on vacation. Like we go on vacation just about every month now.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. We don't do nights too much because, you know, like I said, the restaurant is a full commitment, you know, and we have two of them. So it's kind of hard to get away from it. And we never spend a day at home ever, unless we're on vacation. So we got to go on vacation. We got to go away. We got to go away. So we make sure we go away.
So, you know, one thing that you guys were talking about when you mentioned briefly when one of the businesses wasn't doing well, and it was a brief period. How deeply did that affect your relationship?
Well, when I say it wasn't doing well, this is the thing. One of the when we opened Kelsey's, if we would have not had Kelsey and Kim's, I don't think Kelsey's would have survived. So when I say it wasn't doing well, it was because the money that we were making at one location, we were taking it and putting it into the other one. So I felt like, okay, we're taking money that we're making and we're spending it. And I'm frugal, you know. Compared to him, I'm definitely frugal. He wants what he wants and he doesn't care what it costs. Whereas I'm looking for a sale. Always looking for a sale.
Well, three and a half years later, like I said, between 3 to 5 years with new restaurants, restaurant business, it takes 3 to 5 years to see if you're gonna really make it. Going into like that 3.5 months, 3 years and 6 months, I had to go pick up some supplies from Sam's Club. So when we left, it was kind of daylight. She took a ride with me. When we came back, it was dark.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Streets was lit up, right? We only had but a local band performing.
Okay.
It was a line out the door. When we pulled up to
down the street.
When we pulled back up, you know what she said? Kelsey, I think we're gonna make it. But see, Carol.
You already knew. I did.
I never doubt myself. If I start doubting myself, then it's time for me to fall back. It's time for me to try something different. And I just know it takes time to build.
Mm-hmm.
And then with all the signs that I had from Walt, from the pastor to the customers from Philly and New York and DC and Delaware, I just knew we stay true to what we do. It's going to happen for us. So I mean, she the only one doubts. You know what I mean?
I'm late. I'm always cautious. That's all. I'm just cautious. I don't think I'm doubting us. I think that I'm cautious.
I think she's a little bit too cautious because at a certain point, and I'm gonna talk to you about this later on. How she always holding things up, holding up progress. You know what I mean? You can't avoid your destiny. What's for you is for you. So my thing is,
well, if you believe that it was for you, then it, if it's meant to happen, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, but you slow walking it. She's slow walking it, Carol.
You gotta bring her in. Kim said, "Look, listen." She said, "Listen, I deal with I deal with the numbers. I read the numbers." She said, "You don't see what I see. He sees something totally different." But I get both sides.
But I think this is why it works, because if we were both the same, I don't think that it would be what it is. You need somebody to be on the opposite side looking at, okay, well, what if this or what if that? You just can't. I'm all for following your dreams, but you can work all day, produce a good product, and not make a dime.
Oh Lord, you sure can. You sure can. You sure can. We all know this.
Like, ooh, you sure can.
But you're right though. It's about balance.
You can also make money, but not keep any. So
hello, we know yes, but it's about balance. Like you said, it's about that. It's about balance, and that's we talk about strengths and weaknesses, and it's always interesting for me to hear from couples, especially couples like yourself that have been together for so long, because you seem to have your own formula, if you will. You know what I mean? Because you know each other so well. You're like yin and yang, and you say, yeah, well, I know he's going to say this, and he'll say, well, I knew she wasn't going to go for this, and but then you know each other so well that you even know when to go against what you think the other will go for, or you know what I mean? Like you said, like with him, when he said, well, look, I went ahead and did it, and guess what? I think there's so much beauty in that, because that's a level of trust. That's a huge level of trust. And and that doesn't come easy. I can't imagine that comes easy.
No, it don't.
Yeah.
Stressful. I had hair before when this journey started.
You know what? Kim, is he saying that you are
had hair?
No, he made his own hair come out.
He made it. Okay. Kim said, "Don't give that to me."
Come out.
She said, "Don't give that to me. Don't give." I'm not even taking
at all.
it.
He definitely made his own hair come out.
I ain't taking that. So let me ask you this: what would you say would be the best and maybe most challenging thing about working together, about being married and doing business together, having businesses together?
Well, that's a good question. I gotta think on that. What's good about it? It's like, to me, it's like, like Kelsey's my best friend. Like he's just. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm your best friend. Okay. We best friends now. I'm just messing.
You know
what?
I need a break. I mean, to me, I don't know. You answer the question then. If you got a better one, you answer.
Oh, you doing a great job.
No. You go ahead. You answer.
A lot of times, we could be at the restaurant and we don't even see each other, because she might be upstairs in the office for hours, and I'm downstairs producing food and everything. So unless I go upstairs or she had to come downstairs, we could be in the restaurant for hours and not even see each other.
That's true. I mean, we work in the same building, but we don't really communicate all that much. Do you think? Not as much as you would think that we would. You know,
Okay.
because we're both doing different things. So I don't think that you know, when I said early on, when I said we both couldn't be, I couldn't work with him all day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like that now because we just kind of are doing our own thing. We just happen to be in close proximity to each other.
We have our own space.
But, yeah, we definitely have our own space. Although what my pet peeve, he's always on my desk, and I hate that. You know, because we have 4 desks in our office, and he could choose any 3, and he wants to choose mine. That bothers me. But outside of that, I don't mind working with
Okay,
him.
my eyes are getting bad. She got the biggest screen.
Well, listen, I'm glad to know that because I'm gonna go buy a screen tomorrow.
You know what?
If all he had to do was say it was the screen, because I'll get another one. That's a Triple Sam's Club. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
You did it now. You did it now, Kelsey.
Yeah,
That's it.
I can't stand people to be on my desk, and they all seem to want to flock to my desk.
Oh, well, maybe. Okay. Well, Kim, maybe the secret, is at your desk. There's something that's going on. Wait. Do they like to be at your desk when you're sitting there, or they're coming to visit you?
No, they leave signs of them being there, which bothers me. Like, because my desk is chaos, but it's an organized chaos. It's chaotic. I have stuff everywhere, but I know what I have there. And when I come back and I see all kinds of other stuff, I'm like, okay, I got enough of my own stuff here. I don't need your stuff too. I just like my space. I'm an invert. I like spending time to myself. I like, I just like my stuff where I like it, and that's it. I don't like, I don't want to share everything.
Yeah. Well, you know what I think, but I think that's a good thing though that you don't.
Yeah.
Well, I happen to personally believe that. And I was going to ask that. That leads me to my next question. Because you said you take like a week to yourselves, which I think is awesome.
Yeah,
do you take time away from each other individually?
No, we as a matter of fact, we kind of keep 2 houses.
Okay.
But we never sleep in different locations. We always make sure we're under the same roof. Like, we have a house that we keep in Atlantic City, because sometimes where they're late, you have to be there early. We just don't have time to travel to our
primary
permanent home. So we have another house in Atlantic City, but we always make sure that no matter how late it is or whatever. Like one night, I believe. Did you come here or I went there? One of us got mixed up on where we were supposed to be. And I think I was like 3:00 in the morning traveling to the other house just to make sure that we were under the same roof. We don't
see, I love that.
Yeah, we don't sleep apart. Like, our pastor told us when we got married, he says, no matter what goes wrong in your relationship, you go in one end of the house and he goes in the other. And you can stay there as long as you want to, but don't ever not sleep under the same roof. And that has worked for us.
I love that though. Yeah. I know I do.
Don't leave the house too.
He said, "Don't leave the house." Right, but I'm saying you go on one part and I go on the other part. But he said, "Don't ever not sleep under the same roof."
What other gems would you say have been a building brick to your foundation?
Prayer, definitely prayer. I think that learning to have patience, when you're young, I think everything has to be, I think when you get older, you don't mind not proving the fact that you're right. Or, you think you're right, but you don't have to prove it anymore. If you think, the argument's not worth it. You don't even want to convince, you know what I'm saying? You just kind of like leave it at what it is. And then sometimes, me and Kelsey can unload on each other. And then 2 seconds later, it was just like, our kids didn't understand that. And I feel bad because our kids, they've learned our love language, but it took them some time to realize, okay, mom and dad aren't really mad at each other. They just venting with each other type thing. And we do vent, Jeff, trust me. But at the end of the day, we always come back. It's just like it's not. It's nothing. It just that's just how we talk to each other.
Well, one thing about it, 90% of all arguments, I let her win. 10% of the time, every now and then, I gotta pound my chest and let her know I'm still king. But something like you said is not worth the drama, the headache, lose no sleep over. So 90% of the time, all right, whatever. But if I want to bring Avant or Kiki, I'm gonna make it happen. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. If I had to grab my own money, I mean, we're gonna make it happen.
Money.
I was about to say that Kim. I was about to say Kim already
Where
listed.
own money come from?
Matter of fact, you know what? Kind of crazy thing about it, I don't even think I've seen a paycheck in about 20 years. I
get paid every other week, like everybody
know what
else.
she told me? She said, "Well, your car note is paid." I said,
I was
"Yeah."
gonna say he don't pay no bills. I pay everything. So he the money.
She said, "You got a roof over your head." I said, "Yeah." She said, "The electric, the gas, the cable, all that's paid, right?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, what you need money for? I can't have $5 in my pocket."
That's not true. That's not true.
He's got to put into his mad money.
It's probably like this. He
got to put into his mad
money
money
in my pocket. But then, I mean,
okay.
You know what they say, Kim. You know what look, grandma used to say, we both got to keep mad money. You know, grandma used to say that. Family,
Well,
listen,
she keep mad money. I'll tell you like that.
You said she
keep mad money. Look here, one day she pulled out a pocketbook money. I'm like,
you said, oh wait, you said there's my money right there. That's what you said. That's what Family, we're going to take a short commercial break and we're going to come right back. So stay with us.
Word on Jobs.
A new year is here, and if you're searching for new career goals or a new job that fits your skill set, visit wordworks.com to view jobs and program opportunities, including Community Relations Coordinator for WHYY, Disability Services Director for NBME, and Policy Director for Bicycle Coalition of Greater Philadelphia. Visit WordWorks at word.com and find the career opportunity that's right for you. Brought to you by Pico and Livelihood at Word Radio.
What do an aerospace engineer, cancer immunologist, and bat scientist all have in common? We all have cool jobs in STEM fields. Whether it's building robots or learning to code, girls everywhere are finding their passion for science, technology, engineering, and math through positive role models and mentors. So dare to dive in, get connected, and explore. You never know what your future may hold. Learn more about these and even more cool jobs at shecanstem.com.
We're often influenced by what we see or hear on social media. Beware of disinformation campaigns targeting Black communities by using cultural issues to incite divisions, spread false information, and negatively influence public opinions. We're in this together, and together we can stay informed and empowered. Learn more at nbcit.org. This public service announcement is from the National Black Cultural Information Trust.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything is in everything. Even when you think things will never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
Email from school about the incident today.
Scary.
Tell me about it. Did you have any idea that was going on?
None. I mean, you saw Derek at the game last night too. Did you have a clue?
No, but you know, teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do. Kids hear first about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
It can be hard to tell sometimes, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, bullying, violence, anything, you need to tell an adult. Mom or me, a teacher, coach, school counselor, someone you know and trust.
Dad, no kid is gonna tell an adult about that kind of stuff.
I get it, but if we don't know, we can't help. Speaking up about a problem, That's what helping a friend is all about.
Hey family, I'm Carol Riddick.
And I'm Donavan S. And we're the hosts of Love and Life, a new show about,
well, love and life.
This show is an informative, entertaining, and refreshing take on the hard conversations about love and life.
Each day, we'll provide real facts and honest opinions on dating, sexual health, casual, and committed relationships.
These late night conversations will be served on a judgment-free platter and seasoned with unapologetic realness.
So join us Sunday night through Thursday night at midnight on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent Black media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're at 96.1 FM and 900 AM. And we're in the final stretch of tonight's program. OMG. So if you have just tuned in, we've been talking with Kelsey and Kim Jackson, and they've been sharing with us, tidbits of their journey. They've been imparting on us some jewels. Before we went to the break, they were telling us of a few things that they feel are some gems that we should put in our back pockets. And I cut them off as we had to go to the break. But now that we're back, I want to resume that conversation. I know you guys said that, and I've heard this before about not going to bed angry, or at least not leaving the premises. Like you should.
Yeah, because she definitely go to bed angry.
I was going to say, I don't go to bed angry. Or you, for that matter.
No, I was going to ask you.
Make sure we stay under the same roof, even if we are angry.
I've seen that, and I was going to ask you because, people say don't go to bed angry. Now, I know that would be a difficult one for me. I'm challenged with that myself. So, so that I'm glad you cleared that up. She said, no, I can't say that. But I will say we stay under the same roof. But I think that's important. That's so important because you even when you're not on the same, not on the same wavelength at the same time, it's so important that you maintain a certain spirit within your union. So I can agree with that. When you don't leave the house, you don't want to. You stay right here. You can be mad at me all you want. We don't have to look at each other. We don't have to talk to each other right now. But you stay right here, and I'm gonna stay right here too. So I appreciate
and
that.
I would say too that especially if you're young in a relationship, like newlyweds and stuff, I think that when you hang out with married people, it helps versus if you're just communicating with single people, because it is a difference. And I think you have to behave and your outlook has to be different, and you have to realize that you're unified. If you're going to get married and still try to live like you're single, then you're not going to be married long,
I just had that conversation about 2 days ago. I just had that conversation. And there's so much truth to that. There's so much truth. Without going into too much of it, the person with whom I was having the conversation was at one point married, but was living as if they were single.
Because men tend to want to keep the same friends. They want to go on trips with their buddies and stuff like that. And to me, if you're married, you should be going on a trip as a couple. When you start taking trips individually, I don't know.
Hold up. We're not going to just say men. Because
women too.
Exactly, because we was on a time joining cruise. And no women was getting buck wild. They must have left their husbands at home.
Women are
and
a
they
little hard
was
to handle these days.
they was all out of control, and they wasn't just no young ones. They was quite some
mature
ones.
Yes,
I
yes.
just think that if you're going to, like, I don't take trips with girlfriends. I take trips with couples that that are,
and they don't have to
friends.
be married. They don't have to be married.
No, but they couples.
Yeah,
like we go as a couple. It's not
Right.
like you go on a trip and then I go on a trip.
Right.
Because I know Walt been trying to get him to go out to the football games or whatever they do.
Oh, yeah, that
bring me.
I know that's right, Kim. Kim say, "Yeah, we'll come. We will come.
We'll come.
we will gladly come. Okay, we will gladly be there. I get that. No, I do. I mean, but that says a lot, though. It speaks to your union, and it speaks to what what you're saying about your union. So that I get it, Kim. Listen, I overstand. Okay.
She says she understands.
Okay. Listen, we will be there gladly. Okay. We don't get invitations for one of us. We get invitations. We are the Jacksons. Okay? We are the Jacksons. That's right. The invitation comes to us, and we will decide if we are going. So I get it. Listen, she's not saying anything to which I can't relate. I get it. I get it. Oh my. Okay. So let me ask you this. What else would you say to like new couples? What else would you say? Because you guys seem to, like I said, you guys have, I know it's your
one
formula.
thing I can tell you, what I believe breaks up many couples is finance. Like if you already have problems, or if you have money problems when you get married, you should work all that out before you get married, because being in a relationship is work. I think women tend to think that it's something that they have to do, and they don't realize, men, I don't know. I just think that women kind of feel like they have to be in a relationship and you have to be married. But to me, I think that women have a harder job in relationships, being a mom, maintaining a household. Yeah, we have more put on us, I believe. I mean, men, we're both providers now, because in these days it takes two. One income is not going to do it. You definitely have to have two incomes. And I just think money problems is what can break up a marriage for real. It really can.
I think being lazy can break up a relationship.
Yeah, lazy. Well, if you're lazy, you're gonna have money problems. So.
Yeah, that's true to that too.
It's one and the same. Like I said, we've always been workers. Like both of us have always worked. So
okay, I'll tell you like this. I'm originally from North Philly. Like I said, from Richard Island. And I watched my mom struggle. She used to have card games on the weekends. You know what I mean? To make money. She worked the job. She used to play the street numbers. I mean, she used to run numbers. Wow. My mom was a hustler. So I'm used to, I came from nothing. So when a lot of people tell me that they don't understand it's hard out here, I'm like, okay, if I can make it, you can make it. We used to work with this program called the YAP program. And what it is called the Youth Advocate program down here. And they used to give us kids that was in trouble. I used to be like a mentor to them. I give them a job. They used to pay their salary, but they wanted them to work with me and, build the relationship, teach them a trade and everything. And hopefully they stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
Well, it was this one kid. He seemed like from day one, he just didn't want to be there. He's just going through the motions. So one day I pulled him up to the office and let me talk to you for a minute. And I said, what you think I was dealt a silver spoon? He's like, yeah. I said, you're wrong. I said, I come from nothing. I come from one of the roughest parts of North Philly. I said, when my mother moved from Langston, we lived with somebody, one of her best friends used to own a soul food restaurant down here, Marie's Soul Food Kitchen. And that's what intrigued me about opening up my own restaurant one day. I said, but I started off washing dishes at Los Amigos, a Mexican restaurant, worked my way up to being a cook. I mean, so I said, at the age of 16, I was homeless. I said, I lost my mom my sophomore year of high school. So nothing came easy to me.
Right.
I had to do what was necessary to survive. So my thing is, if I can work through it and make it, you can too.
You can too.
But it's up to you. It's up to the individual.
That's so important.
My teacher told me, she said, Kelsey Jackson, you're going to be dead locked up by the age of 25.
Oh.
By the age of 19, guess where I was at, Carol? I was locked up. I'm up in Hackensack, New Jersey, thinking about this woman predicting my future. It's up to me to make the change. It was up to me. To correct my wrongs. So pretty much, I got out. I got a job, and I worked my way through all of it, and stay focused.
Kelsey, when I tell you, just listening to that, I'm sorry we didn't start that part of the story earlier, because I would really love to have shared with so many other individuals that part as well. But I hate that I have to say that it's that time. We have come to the end of the program. I want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you, especially to you two, for joining us this evening. I love you.
Thank you for having
I just
us.
thank you so much, family. Be good to you. Be good to those around you. Make sure you join us at midnight for another edition of Love and Life on WURD.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Tanya Hopkins, aka The Food Griot, the host of Savory and Sweet, a new show about food, history, and culture. Savory and Sweet is a flavorful exploration of food, marinated in the Black experience, seared with history and braised in culture. Each week, I'll fold in conversations that center food and drink at the intersection of business, health and well-being, entertainment, education, and innovation, while separating the facts from fiction on the sometimes surprising origins of what we eat and drink. So join me, the Food Griot, and special guests for Savory and Sweet, Food, History, and Culture every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. exclusively on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
A lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
Oh, hey, Julia. You ready to play band with us? I'm going to play my clarinet.
And Elmo's gonna play his drum. Drum loud.
Oh, well, you know what to do, Julia.
Julia knows.
With Julia's autism, loud sounds can be too much.
But she still loves to make music. Play band.
Early screening for autism can make a lifetime of difference. Find out more at screenforautism.org.
I remember this one moment. I ran to kind of the water edge, and my mom said something along the lines of like, now it's your turn. Take that first step. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. There's some light within her that makes me continue to do the climate science work that I do. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. As moms, we care about our children and the environment they grow up in. And for Mia, I want you to know that I worked really hard to be a part of the change and to make it a better place for you.
Imagine you on a deserted island all by yourself, or even being in a crowd of people yet still feeling alone. That's what being a victim of sexual assault can feel like. Victims of sexual assault are at an increased risk for developing depression, PTSD, substance abuse, eating disorders, and anxiety. Sexual assault can happen to anyone, and as any unwanted sexual contact such as unwanted touching, fondling, groping, or even rape. No always means no, so speak up and speak out. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Lifting every voice till earth and heaven ring. This is WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia.